It's a booming business. Shooting is a popular sport in Serbia. Today's guests are given a sniper rifle. This one was used in Afghanistan and Bosnia, the operators say, with a hint of pride. The owner's stance on firearms is clear.
A firearm per se doesn't kill anyone. That's the message we want to get across. You can commit a crime or a murder with any weapon or object. There are two sides to everything.
Recently, 2 crimes involving firearms sent shockwaves through Serbia. In May, a young man killed 8 in a neighboring village. His family had an arsenal of weapons stockpiled. The day before, in Belgrade, a student shot 8 classmates and a security guard with his father's gun. Since the shooting sprees, tens of thousands have taken to the streets, including Dejan Tomka, whose children attended the school where the shooting took place. The system, the state, everyone has failed in his eyes. He feels society is becoming more violent. Demonstrators want the president and government to step down. Dejan Tomka's children narrowly survived the massacre at the school. He says he will never forget the fear, and complains that they have been left to cope with the aftermath themselves. The families feel abandoned.
At first, there's a feeling of shock from the whole situation, which is much more intense than you can grasp politically or socially. And then we had to deal with the trauma, this fear that we had all developed.
The school shooter in Belgrade was only 13 years old. The gun was legally owned by his father. Weeks later, people are still struggling to comprehend what happened. According to the Small Arms Survey Research Project, Serbia ranks 3rd in the world when it comes to the possession of weapons. Statistically, 1 in 3 Serbs owns a gun, often illegally, although the number is falling slightly. The Serbian gun lobby talks exclusively about legal firearms.
7% of the population is legally armed, not 36 as foreign media report. That makes 12 weapons per 100 inhabitants, 10 times less than in the US. If the numbers are correct, and they certainly are, we are among the least armed countries in Europe.
In the wake of the shooting sprees, the Serbian government has called for people to turn in their illegal weapons anonymously and without penalty. Thousands have done so already. On top of that, the legal trade in both weapons and weapon parts has been completely banned for 2 years, a step too far for the shooting range operators.
Something happened that should not have happened. Irrespective of whether the guns were legal or not. But I think it's too rash to prohibit legitimate gun owners from doing what was previously legal.
Dejan says guns are only part of the problem. He talks of a general brutalization of Serbian society and says pro-government channels such as Pink TV are contributing to this. Pink TV broadcasts the lowest form of content in his view, insults and fights.
It's a latent form of violence. It does not directly victimize, but it creates a feeling, an atmosphere in which we are constantly one step away from verbal violence. And after that, we're only one step away from physical violence.
People have called for Pink TV to be shut down. Pressure on the state is growing. The government knows that the mood is turning against it. In May, Serbia's autocratic president Alexander Vucic organized a demonstration for himself and had loyalists transported from all over the country to Belgrade.
Long live Alexander Vucic.
I support my fellow countryman Vucic for Serbia.
The government is still firmly in the saddle, but there is an air of change in Serbia.